Hey guys, it's me Chan Dragon. So today I will talk about the Wishing Target 100% rate up banner, and this time for the 100% rate up banner it will go up until Lamia. And yeah, this is actually a good opportunity for you to catch up of some of the missing character. Maybe because of that, maybe I can help you to give you a recommendation of you for who should you pull for this 100% rate up. And yeah, take notes, all the order that I mentioned, it doesn't really matter because I feel like the more I did, it's hard to generalize every single account progression, so it's just better to not give rank. So all of them that I mentioned, it's important, depend on your account progression. But at least for the top 3, this is my personal preference that I will choose, that I feel is never go wrong. And also of course will cover like who you should choose if you maybe want to go more than S rank, let's say like SSG or SSS, something like that. So yeah, let's get started. This time I will just choose 6 character, no more honorable mention, because I think again the more I give you option, the more confused you are. So I just give you 6 of my recommendation. Number 6, 21 Feral Sand. The biggest positive about 21 Feral Sand is that she is upgrade from Leaf Lux itself, even in both solo and rotation. You can even check my video. She's actually in even both solo and rotation in Alpha Crimson Wave. And mostly because she is provide more consistent buff compared to Leaf Lux, because she doesn't really require like to stay on a circle. As long you already trigger QT, hey, you are fine already. And another thing that why it's upgrade, she of course have time stop, that's already like power creep, better damage of course, and the one already mentioned, it's consistency, that you don't need to rely on the field anymore. Second, amplifier advantage. So this is basically not because exclusive for 21 Feral Sand, it's just because her role become amplifier. She has the advantage that you can make her as an off element to get the buff rotation, because amplifier have the buff that whenever you switch character you will get like amplifier damage, which is pretty good as off element if you don't have a full team yet. Third, still pretty much relevant for the future meta, so you should not really worry that she will get replaced soon. For cons and notes regarding 21 Feral Sands is that first, if you already have Leaf Lux, and especially if you already fully built, and Leaf Lux can serve as still a solid free-to-play option alternative, and especially if you don't care about like leaderboard or competitive, it makes 21 Feral Sand is not urgently needed, because at the best she only provides like better buff and more consistent. If you just play let's say like Norman or even like Clash Reflection, it's not really super like I say necessary or urgently need. It's still nice to have, but not really like you urgent need to get 21 Feral Sand. And if you maybe still want to prioritize another character, then you can prioritize another character, because Leaf Lux still pretty much a solid option for free to play. And second, 21 Feral Sand kinda need her signature weapon, just because without signature it will be not optimal, because her weapon contains like lightning threat or lightning resistant reduction. So if you get a weapon, the lightning resistant reduction will increase furthermore. So yeah, because of that it feels not really optimal without the signature weapon. But it's not necessarily mean that she is worse than Leaf Lux without signature. No, she's still best, just because the consistency is just better than Leaf Lux, especially like Alpha go here and there. It's more consistent even like with S Feral Sand without weapon. But yeah, in the end like it's still not optimal. You kinda need the signature weapon. And lastly, which is, it's no cons or notes, this is actually good news. She actually will come free as a part of event. It's just very recent CN patch, and we know we are catching up with CN soon, right? That means this event will come pretty much also sooner than what you think. It's no longer like 1 year anymore. So because of that, assuming you playing every day, at the worst I believe you will get her like in the end eventually. And in the end, I still have my recommendation for you to pull for 21 Feral Sand. First, if you want to upgrade and of course to get more consistent buffer in Lightning team, like more consistent than Leaf Lux, then yep, feel free to go for with 21 Feral Sand. Second, of course, if you want to complete your Meta Lightning team, because as per right now, she is part of the Meta Lightning. So if you want to complete, feel free to go with her. And third, of course, maybe if you want to utilize the amplifier advantage, you still need a buffer that can work as an off element, then yeah, you can go with 21 Feral Sand. But take notes, this is all the amplifier have the advantage. This is not only just because 21 Feral Sand. A little bit just for fun, maybe if you want to create full Lightning Cerberus team, then yeah, this is your opportunity too, because all of them is Lightning. And lastly, of course, maybe if you like her character in gameplay, feel free to pull for her. Number 5, Karina Shear. The positive about Karina Shear is that she pretty much give upgrade from Kamui Tenebrion, assuming of course if you at least aim to get signature weapon or even you get like SS3, yeah, she pretty much upgrade in there just because she provide of course better damage, longer shred duration, it has time stop, yeah, it's better dark shred through in at SS3. And second, this is pretty much only work for the future, okay, so it's not for right now, but she can work as a alternative for lightning tank. Not necessarily the best, it's only like alternative of the lightning tank itself, because her leap in the future it will contain like lightning resistance reduction, so she can work as a dark tank and lightning tank, so add her to be like versatility. And of course the continuation, because she received flip, she will become better. And the next one, I know SS3 people say it's very demanding, something like that, but right now because we will have like selector in the future, she will go also in the voucher BP when she receive flip, it's become more accessible. SS3 at least will become more accessible, especially if you buy battle pass like or even low spender. I have no doubt it's become super accessible. Lastly, Karina Shear is still pretty much relevant for the future meta, so you should not worry if she will change anytime soon. And regarding cons of Karina Shear is that first, she's still pretty much quite demanding compared to other character. Although she become more accessible to get SS3, but she still need weapon and SS3 in order to become optimal. At the very least, you need to aim like the weapon. So because of that, still feels demanding in the end. Second, if you're maybe free to play, then Kamui Tenebrion actually still serve as a pretty good option, like alternative option. So it's not like urgently that you still need to get her if you already have Kamui Tenebrion. And one of my recommendation for you to pull for Karina Shear is that first, if you want of course the upgrade from Kamui Tenebrion, of course if I assume you would target at least to get a weapon or even you go even until SS3, then yeah, that's literally the upgrade. And maybe if you want that, then you can go with that. And second, if you want a multi-purpose tank, because in the future she can work in the dark and lightning in for the future, but take note, it's not meta for the lightning team, it's just like alternative basically if you don't want to pull like lightning thing, something like that, or you don't have Vera Garnet, something like that. And third, if you want to complete your meta dark team, then yeah, you need Karina Shear because she is the meta tank right now. And the lastly is that if you like the Kraterian gameplay, feel free to pull for her. Number 4 is Leaf Empire. So the pros about Leaf Empire is that she is actually the only reliable buffer and healer in fire team. You can say like, how about Sophia? It's too far, and even it's very not significant if you compare to Sophia. You cannot compare like, oh, Leaf Lux and 21 Ferals, and it's very different case. Like literally in fire team, only Leaf Empire that feels reliable as a buffer and healer. Second will be part of the Nihil team, or you don't know what is Nihil, it's Void. The official name, if I'm not wrong, is Nihil. So she will part with Watanabe and Luna in there. So maybe if you're looking forward with that brand new team, then she pretty much one of the component in there. Third, she will receive Leap 2 to make her even better, so that's actually good. And fourth, amplifier advantage, same like 21 Ferocen. I don't want one make too long, but in short, like she can go as a off element in your rotation, because if you do rotation, it will give you buff, something like that as an amplifier. And lastly, of course, still relevant for the future meta, so you should not worry at least to getting replaced in at least around 6 months, I guess. So regarding cons and notes, I cannot really find the cons about Leaf Empire, but I have notes a little bit regarding Leaf Empire. So basically not her fault, but if you want to go with Fire Teams is pretty much, I can say, one of the most expensive team to build because it's quite demanding. Her full team, nothing is free. You need to pull all of them. So we can say the Watanabe, just recently, you need to pull. Also Leaf Empire, you need to pull. And then Louis Hyperil, you need to pull. Even in the future, Pyro, you need to pull. Everyone is fully like you need to guys, yeah? So kind of more demanding if you compare, let's say like right now Chisukra, right? Chisukra are already free. In the future, we will get another free too. Another like physical, Alisa is free, and also Rosetta you can get from the selector from the beginner mission itself. So that's not the case for Fire Team. But of course, I still have my recommendation for you to pull for Leaf Empire. First, if you want a multi-purpose buffer, let's say for Fire, Nihil Team, or even like as an off element that I say like the amplifier advantage to just use as a rotation, something like that to get the buffs, then yep, you can decide to go with Leaf Empyrea. And second, if you want to complete meta fire team, then of course she's part of them. And then lastly, if you like the character of gameplay of her, then feel free to pull for her. Number 3, Bianca Stigmata. So there's a couple of positive of her, which is first, she is the main DPS in meta physical team, literally the carry in meta physical. Second, her meta team is actually very accessible for free to play. I'm not even kidding, because Ayla is free. Rosetta, if you just start new, you can just pick right from the whatever S rank selector when you finish the whatever mission it is. You pull Bianca Stigmata, then congratulations, all of them is full meta team in physical. That's how accessible compared to another element. And another thing is that she will receive Leap and make her even better, so that's actually good. And fourth is that she has diverse moveset and variation. At least it's only my personal talk in here. I feel when I using Bianca Stigmata, it feels like I play action game. It feels very stylish in action. I really like her moveset. Probably she's one of the Gen 2 characters that I really enjoy. And lastly, of course, she's still pretty much relevant for future meta. And regarding cons, I know it's basically nothing, but I just want to say is that she will become part of the free character they will give in the future event. So at the worst, if you decide to not pull here, you can still get her. But of course, you pull right now, you can get SS3 of her. So just very depends. I just give you a reminder. So assuming you play every day until the event come and clear the event, you can get her at the worst. And my recommendation for you to pull for Bianca Stigmata is the first, I can say if you want a good starting point to build physical team, then start with Bianca Stigmata, because she is of course the main DPS in PGR. Always I recommend to start with main DPS. Bianca is one that I recommend for you if you want to start in physical team. Second, if you want of course the strongest physical DPS right now, as per right now, she's the best. I don't talk about future, I just say right now, then yeah, you pull for her because she's the strongest right now. And number 3 is if you're a new player maybe that want to start to have a full meta right away easily, then physical path is I think one of the one I recommend if you really want a full meta team. Because for me, I play JP account, I have both. I always start from physical because it's always easy to get full physical team. And lastly, if you like the character and gameplay, feel free to pull for Bianca. Number 2 is Alpha Crimson Wave. So she of course have a lot of positive that I want to talk in here. Let's start first with, she is one of the best DPS, especially if you want to talk about lightning element. She is part of the meta DPS in lightning right now, so she is very necessary in order for you to get into meta lightning team. And then second is that she can do solo. So if character can do solo, this is a huge advantage, just because the other teammate, it's not that necessary they are not important, but not necessarily urgently you need to build. You can somehow ignore them a little bit or not fully invest, only half build, something like that, and your team performance overall still pretty much nice. And you can even want to focus to build another element, yeah, you can. So because of it, it's pretty nice if a character can solo. And third is that she will receive leap, and she will of course will become better, and of course still relevant for the future meta. And lastly, this is actually same like Bianca Stigmata. I think Alpha Crimson Wave have a very good diverse moveset variation. It feels like you really play action games, so that's the thing that I like also about Alpha. And regarding cons of her, she doesn't really have important cons I want to talk. It's mostly couple of the notes that I want to say, which is first, she will become also part of the free character that will be given from the dev itself. It will become part of the recent actually just in CN patch right now. She is free along even with the weapon and cup. So at the worst, if you play every day until the event come, you of course will get her. But of course if you pull right now, you can get even until SSG. So that's couple of the a little bit consideration for you. And second is that she might be easy to learn, easy to know everything, how her kit works, but in order to master her, it's quite hard. It's not that it's necessarily hard that you cannot perform, but if you play competitive, she's not as straightforward as you think. Timing momentum of her, it's quite tricky. So I can say she's typical character that easy to learn, hard to master. And for my recommendation for you to pull for Alpha Crimson Wave is that first, if you want to start to build your lightning team, then yeah, I recommend to start with Alpha Crimson Wave, because in PGR starting with DPS is always the best starting point. So because she is lightning DPS, then yeah, start with Alpha Crimson Wave. And then second, if you want a strongest lightning DPS, then of course get her the meta lightning DPS. And third, I recommend also for the new player, comeback player, or even free to play that maybe want to have a relatively a strong carry, like a strong team that relatively only need low investment and already pretty much like perform solid in the earlier stage for you to clear your content. Because Alpha Crimson Wave, I say she can solo, right? So it's not really demanding that you have to have like fully invest like yet something like that, and yet still pretty much strong to carry you forward all the content. So that's why maybe if you want to start strong something like that, then I recommend to pull for her for the new player, comeback player, or even free to play. And lastly, of course, if you really like the character and gameplay, feel free to pull for her, because I know Alpha Crimson Wave is really popular. So maybe if you really like her, just pull for her though. Number 1, remember again, the orders not really matter, especially the top 3. I already say all of them is already equally good, but I just put this in the number 1, which is Lamia. So of course Lamia have couple of the positives that I want to talk, which is first is that she's the best dark DPS. So if you want to talk about like in dark element itself, she is basically the strongest. Like it's not even close with my SS3 like Karina Shear. It's so different even with only like S Lamia itself. She's really strong. And then second is that she's easy to play and nice for casual. Literally, I think she is very branded among all the characters that I mentioned in here. She's the easiest. And third is that she can semi-solo, so at the worst you don't really need a fully built like your dark team and still can pretty much functional. But of course it's not fully solo like True Sukra or even like Alpha Crimson Wave, but at least this semi-solo can help her for you to not really have like fully investment team yet. Like at least like immediately you can do like slowly. Fourth, of course, she's still relevant for the future meta, so yeah, you can expect her will be not replaced anytime soon. And lastly, she is the only fish. And regarding cons, there's a couple of them that I want to talk about her. Is that first, she still needs rotation, and because of that you kinda still need a decent teammates. Like you need a little bit higher investment compared to, let's say you want to play like Alpha Crimson Wave. At least your teammate cannot be like super low investment, at least decent, like at least a little bit fully built, because she still need this rotation. It's very hard for you to just play full solo. Technically you can, but it will be sometimes like RNG based and will be very clunky. It's very not comfortable to play. So because of that, like rotation still pretty much needed. And second, although she actually very strong, can do semi-solo, her teammate is a little bit problematic. Selena, technically you need triple S. Of course you can go with Vera Rosen, but even then you need to go like triple S to, which took time again, like triple S like Vera Rosen. You need to farm at least like airing every day to chart something like that, right? So at least it's still effort. And Karina Shear with SSG with weapon, it's quite demanding too. So because of that, her fully potential is kinda hindered because of this teammate. Actually, I think if her teammates and she doesn't really need rotation, I think she can as strong as Chusukra too. I know even though, but because of that, it's kind of hinder of her potential. And lastly, of course, if you want to play fully solo, her orb management is very important because she's very hungry of orb. So you need to a little bit pay attention to the orb management. And in the end, I still have my recommendation for you to pull for Lamia, which is first, she's a good starting point if you want to build dark team, because she is the strongest. I already told you, not even close with Karina Shear. So if you want to start to build dark team, start with Lamia. And second is that if you want the strongest dark DPS, then go with Lamia. No more Luna, okay? Luna will be have a different section. Rano in dark is Lamia. And third, if you may be casual player that just don't want to learn that much, want to just play easily without thinking too much, and also relatively a strong character, then yeah, pull for Lamia. Because I think other character that I recommend in here, especially like the DPS, it's a little bit more effort that you need to put compared to Lamia. Lamia is a little more branded, at least for me. And lastly, if you like the character gameplay, feel free to pull for her. And if you still want to give number 1, I will say all of 3 is not really matter, but in the end I have to choose one, right, to give number 1. That's why I choose Lamia. Another reason, maybe if you want a little bit logical, is that the other 2, Bianca and Alpa, in the future they will have event that give them for free, but Lamia it's not, so it's feel a little bit rare at least. That's it actually. It's not because power wise. And now we move into the rank itself, like if you maybe to pull not as a brand new character but as to upgrade the rank. So if you ask me which character for you to go for SS, technically I already say you can go with PPC, but I understand some of you maybe don't want to do that, don't have the skill. Then yeah, I want to say the priority for you to go for SS is just priority all the Gen 2 character. What is Gen 2 character? All above is Live Empire in there. So Live Empire until Chusuka right now, yeah, all of them is like basically Gen 2 character, just prioritize them. But if you want more even specific, prioritize is the main DPS. So the main DPS, of course, let's say like Lamia, Alpha Crimson Leaf, or even like Bianca Stigmata, they are the one that you should prioritize. And for the SSG, which characters that the best for you to go for SSG? Karina Shear, not even close, because she is the one that really need that the most, because that's where she has the fully potential of the Dark Stride and even the Mage. And second, this is only optional, really not super matter, but if you really want, it's quite nice, which is Bianca Stigmata. It's allow you to go for longer on field and also like higher damage, so it's still pretty much nice, but it's nothing like super crazy. It's fine, but at least she feels more significant compared to other SSG upgrade. And regarding character, which one is the best for you to go for triple S? Basically, my answer is that any of Amplifier class, because Amplifier class at SSS or triple S, they have ability to buff even more, like the buff even like becomes stronger, so that's pretty much good. So let's say all this Amplifier class in here, like Leaf Empiria, Alisa, Ayla Kaleido, or even like Selena, yeah, all of them is Amplifier that you can consider to go to triple S. So maybe Selena, I will say no anymore to going for triple S, because Lilith is Dark Amplifier too. Probably I expect it will be better. Don't know what is her kit, they only announced, but yeah, I don't think you should just go that. So I think prioritize other Amplifier. So yeah, that's it. And maybe some of you still really want to know what is my verdict regarding all the character I mentioned. I can say, if you want to never get wrong, just choose anything top 3, which is Bianca Stigmata, Alpha Crimson Leaf, and Lamia. I think if you choose one of them from these 3, and you will never get wrong, you will find. If you already have these 3, then it's really up to you to pull or not in this banner, because I want to give you a reminder, we are catching with Xian, we still don't know what will happen, so it's just better to be more like defensive. I still not answer in this video, or even you have some niche questions, feel free to ask in the comment. I'll try my best to answer it. So yeah, hopefully this one can helpful. Feel free to hit the button and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.